Hi guys, it is me, Teacher Christy M with 5-1 Talk. And today I am going to go over the hiring process for 5-1 Talk. And of course, along the way, I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on how to pass the interview process. So I made a list right here. Let's center that. There you go. Of what the process is going to be like. So if you're considering working for 5-1 Talk, the first thing you're going to do is fill out the application. So some of the requirements that 5-1 Talk is looking for will be someone who is available during 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Beijing time. And right now they're hiring for group classes. And what that means is you have a 45-minute window of teaching. The standard pay is going to be $18 per hour. It's really 45 minutes. And you do need to commit to either a 3-month or a 6-month contract for that. So that means like Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday or, Monday through Sunday. You do need to commit for the next 3 to 6 months for that time of 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Beijing time. And the pay will be about $18 per hour. And some of the requirements that they are looking for the American Academy hires will be a U.S. or a Canadian passport. So even if you're not a native English speaker, but you're near native and your English is really good, they're still going to hire you if you hold that passport. Another thing is that they were very strict about before was a bachelor's degree. But right now, they're a little lenient on that. So if you are in school and you're a student right now, they still will hire you. So once you've filled out that application, you guys will go on to the next step, which will be your interview and demo. So what they're going to be looking for is someone who, feels natural in the classroom. It is a little weird because it's online and your demo is going to be with an adult who's pretending to be a kid. So it's a little weird. But I'll go over like the top 5 things that they'll be looking for during your demo. So where this comes from is they surveyed the students of 5-1 Talk and they ranked what they said in order of importance on what they think makes a good teacher. So then 5-1 Talk takes that information and they put it in their recruiting process. So they're looking for these things. I'm just going to go over 5 of them. There actually are 10, but the top 5 are going to have the most weight in this. So the first thing they're going to be looking for is a teacher who can speak slowly. So while you're having your lesson with the kids, you don't want to be talking like how I'm talking to you right now. We're both English speakers, so of course you're going to understand me. But while you're talking to these students, English is not their first language, and some of them are just learning. So they're really looking for someone who's going to be speaking slowly. So for example, if I were teaching the kids, let's pretend this is the online lesson, and you're reading to them, you're going to be like, it's a skeleton. Skeleton. Can you say skeleton? Good job. Skeleton. The skeleton is happy. So that's how slow you're going to be wanting to speak during your interview. And so what I did also in there brings me on to my next point, which is smiling. The teachers really value teachers who smile and seem happy to be there and love teaching. So you want to make sure you're smiling and make sure it's natural. And the third thing, which I also did when I was reading that, is praise. So when they repeat what you said, you want to be like, good job, great job, yes, high five, things like that. Kids really respond well to praise. The fourth thing, which I also did, is really big with 5-1 Talk. They call it TPR, which is total physical response, which means not only am I speaking, but I'm doing actions like good job, high five, say, like listen, look at the book. So you want to make sure you're also using your hands. And which follows into the next point, which is number 5, which is teaching aids. So, I just have my whiteboard here for you guys to see this. And, I use this book as a prop. You can use anything else. Like some of the lessons might be like, the cup is on the saucer. So just whatever's around you. Some people I know buy puppets, buy props. You can do these things if you want. I personally haven't bought anything, and I've done great for the last year and a half with them. So that's really up to you, but you really do want to be utilizing different aids when you're teaching. So those are the 5 things that they'll be looking for during your demo. So those are the most important tips. And again, it really will help if they can see that you have a headphone and you're dressed business casual during your interview. And your hours available, like I said before, is a really big thing. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Beijing time. Start looking at the time. A lot of teachers struggle with the time change. Google, guys. Just Google it. Then your third step is going to be a pre-service orientation. So they're just going to go through some of the basic things with 5-1 Talk as well as your service agreement. This is somewhere where they're going to talk about your pay and your contract lengths, and these are going to be different for every teacher. But for the most part, you're going to be offered $18 for a 45-minute lesson, and you do that 3 hours a day. And they'll also offer you a pay rate for if you teach one-on-one lessons, which I'll talk about in another video. Then once you have talked about your contract and you know your hours and what you'll be doing, then you're going to go on to new teacher training. And this is also something that I do as well. I am a new teacher trainer. And during this, we just go over, some of the things that I talked about, like the TPR gestures, how to speak slowly, how to teach 5-1 Talk lessons. And with this, I also go over what to expect in your 1v1 lessons. So when you have private lessons outside of your group class training, but this is further along in the process, and this will be in another video as well. And then the last step is going to be your onboard training, where you learn how to navigate the different systems of 5-1 Talk. And another point here is when you're hired as a group teacher, you do have an 8-day training window. So for 8 days, every day about an hour and a half or so, every day you're going to learn how to be a group class teacher. So don't stress if you don't know what to do and how to teach online. There's a lot of information in these last 2 days. This training itself is about 5 hours with me, and the onboarding is 8 days. So make sure your schedule allows for it. I know the majority of teachers are going to be in Canada and the US, not living abroad. So that is going to be about 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. So you have to make sure you're available for those hours. That is what they are hiring for right now. And the majority of people do have all their group classes fully booked. So I don't want to say it's guaranteed pay by any means, but no group class teachers have really been complaining so far. So with that is what you can expect during the application process with 5-1 Talk. And my best estimate from the time you fill out an application till you do your demo, get some of your orientation on your service agreement, get that new teacher training, and get that onboarding, I would say this is probably a 2-week process. Some teachers, maybe 3 weeks. It also depends on your availability. But stay tuned for the next video, and I can go into a lot more tips and tricks on what to expect in your demo and the new teacher training. So I can talk to you guys a little bit more about the 1v1 and then the onboarding, which is group classes. So all of these would be their own lesson. But for now, that is your general overview of the process of getting hired with 5-1 Talk. Thanks, guys.